Good morning, guys and girls. Rob with you this morning. A little quieter, little softer on this morning. Woke up with really a lot of congestion and stuff. So I'm sitting here drinking my water, and we're going to see what we can do as far as tell you what we think. And when I say we, I've invited a crew in here this morning that's invited to come in here and tell us what they think is going to happen noontime today, Eastern time. It's only about a little less than 2.5 hours from now. Who's going to get picked? Who's going to get selected? And will be the four teams. I think we know it. We know two exactly. We know two is in there. The other two are a little more question marky. We'll talk about them in just a minute. First off, let's talk about the big five, major five power conferences. First off, we'll get Georgia, LSU, Georgia 50, LSU 30. Georgia pretty well set. They're undefeated. If you're undefeated, you're in there. And I think their number one seed is fine. Michigan 43, Purdue 22. They win by 21, so they try to put that extra that little extra quotation mark in there. We'll see what happens. Let's go to the ones that really make a difference now. Here's one that really didn't make a difference. Clemson 39, UNC 10. Clemson may get to go to an Orange Bowl berth now. We'll see about that. Probably will get to go to the Orange Bowl. We'll see. Now the two that makes all the difference in the world, Utah 47, USC 24. I think everybody is in the thinking that USC is out of here. USC's lost to this team twice this year. This time was a blowout, 23 points. I think USC's out of there as well. Yeah, Ukulele got benched. Yeah, Ukulele, DJ Ukulele. He brought his bass drummer in there instead of the ukulele. The kid came in and really played well. The kid came in and played really well. Here comes Brian as well.
Hey, Rob.
How you doing this morning?
Really good.
And in a minute, I'm going to tell the folks who I think should be in the four teams, and then the ones I think will be. Have you got a list as well, or who you really think will end up making it in the into the playoffs?
I'm going to have a list, Rob, but I'm going to be upset if Alabama makes it over TCU.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens here. And the last game I was going to say was Kansas State 31, TCU 28. A last second field goal ends up overtime. Overtime beats them. So let's upset Brian now. Let's let him know what I think the poll should be. I think it should be Georgia, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, I think it should be Michigan.
Gotcha.
Now I'm going to start upsetting some people. Number three, I think it should be TCU. And number four, I like Alabama. I like Alabama over Ohio State. Ohio State got crushed on their home field.
I agree.
I know a lot of people not going to like that. A lot of people not going to like it. And I don't think it's going to end up that way. This is the way I think it's going to end up, the actual poll. I think number one will be Georgia. I think number two will be Michigan. I think number three is going to be Ohio State. And I think number four is going to be TCU. We'll see if it happens. Now, a lot of people I've been watching a lot of the SEC network overnight, and they are not at all, how do I say it? I don't think they have a lot of confidence that Alabama's going to get in. This is my argument for Alabama versus Ohio State. Alabama loses 2 ball games, both of them last play of the game, and both of them on the road. Ohio State got crushed by one of the teams that's in there at home. Now, you don't have to agree with me. You do not have to agree with me. But I'm just saying, had Alabama lost one of those games at home, I would push them out of here already. Um, you know, if had USC stuck with Utah and lost by a field goal, I wouldn't have had a problem keeping them in there because they only lost by 1 point the first time. But this was a beatdown. TCU, uh, are you saying you think TCU should be in there, Brian?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. They
One
they
thing,
beat, they beat 5 top 25 teams this
yeah,
year. Nobody else in this top four did that. I mean, yeah, there's teams that they're not the powerhouse teams, but they're still Texas, who played Alabama to the last play. They're Texas Tech. I mean,
Baylor,
every week they're tough teams. They're tough teams,
there were
and
no pushovers in the Big 12.
no, exactly. They're not all top five teams, but they're all in the top 25. And every time you either come, Baylor's a heck of a team. Some of these teams are really, really good, and they beat them all. And then they lose to Kansas State after beating Kansas State once during the season. So,
One
that's
thing that Kansas State needed to do was tackle better because they didn't tackle very well in the first game that they did, and they did that. Other than that one long drive where the quarterback carried the ball the whole way. But what a game that was! That was amazing.
I'm impressed by that quarterback for TCU too. I think he's a tough kid,
It
man.
was
I'll
a
tell you.
tough- The whole
Uh,
team is tough. Their whole
do you,
team was tough.
is he NFL ready? Do you think he's NFL ready? The kid from TCU.
Oh, he'll definitely get drafted, and I think he'll be drafted high. I don't know if he'll play the first year
Right.
because he'll probably have things to learn in coverages and stuff like that. But physically, he's definitely ready to go.
First round pick.
Mm, probably because
I
they
think so.
know
I
the
think
teams
so
that
too.
need quarterbacks, and he's in the Heisman discussion. So yeah,
Yeah. I still think the kid from USC is going to win the Heisman. Now, did
yeah.
you
It's a
see?
shame he got hurt. Yeah, it's a shame he got hurt.
Did you?
Anyway.
Yeah. Did you see the cut on his hand?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah. It
No, I
was
don't.
about that long and it was about that deep. I'm sure
Mhm.
if they didn't do the stitches, they did that glue work to it.
Mhm.
Now, um, if he sat out the bowl game, being that now they're not, I can't blame him for that. Being that he's leaving and ready to go to the pros, all of them shouldn't do that. I understand that, but this kid, I mean, he played Friday night as hard as he could, and Utah was all over him, man. I mean, they sacked him 7 times, I think. It was nuts. But I mean, Utah's a good team, and a lot of people we kind of overlook, you know, a Utah team when we think. A lot of times when you think of Pac-12, you automatically think of Oregon as being the best team out there. And this year they just weren't. It was Utah. Utah was the best team out there in the Pac-12.
Utah's quarterback Rising is a pretty tough kid too. He's not
Yeah,
real big, and then that little receiver he's got.
and I tell you, there's some tough kids. So let me give you four, and you tell me whether you'd be upset or not upset.
One
Yeah.
thing I want to
Okay,
say
go for
about we were
it. Go
talking
ahead.
about USC and Utah.
Mhm.
Last year, I noticed number 57. I think his name is Jason Dedich. Number 57. He's a guard, and
Is he for USC? For
yeah,
USC?
yeah, for on the offensive line. And,
Uh-huh.
2 years ago, I noticed, man, that guy is technically perfect. Now he missed the block in the Utah game, but on a play that he pulled and he missed that block. But that's the only missed play I've seen. He's not real big. He's 6'2", about 300 pounds, but I think he's going to get drafted. I just love the way I like to watch an offensive line play when I watch football games. I absolutely love the way that guy plays.
How about Brian Kelly's lack of preparedness for that field goal attempt, and they get blocked,
I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly at all.
and then nobody on LSU is going after this kid. I mean, when he picks the ball up,
Yeah.
He's obviously looking at the coach like, okay, I'm at the 8-year-old line or 5-yard line or whatever. Should I pick it up? And you see the guy up in the booth going, "Don't pick it up! Don't pick it up! Don't pick it up!"
What was the key play?
But but my goodness, is 9 of your guys there, and all the other guys are walking off the field. And as long as the ball's rolling, they're not gonna call play. So he picks the ball up, and he's got 4 guys right there. 2 of them are defensive linemen, and they're just saying, follow me," and goes all the way to the end zone. Um,
Now,
do you put that on his specialty? I mean, do you put that on the head coach of LSU, or do you think it's more? I think so too. I think that's something you got to prepare all week.
Somebody said that Kirby Smart went over the rules on a play like that in practice. Obviously, Brian Kelly never has discussed that because the whole team
right. Yeah,
so Kirby Smart was smart, and Brian Kelly was dumb, and it cost him a game.
Yeah, and you can't afford to give up your first points in a championship game and be just like, okay, that's free 7 points. It's pretty much what it was, because when he was running, from the time he picked the ball up at about the 7-yard line all the way down the whole field, you never saw one LSU kid try to chase him down, and that just
did not have a clue, and that
no. That's really bad.
Brian Kelly was a coach of a couple of kids out of my school that were drafted some years ago. I don't know if you remember Jafar Armstrong. He went to Miege, and Tim Grunhardt's son, Colin Grunhardt, went to Notre Dame under Brian Kelly. He was also Travis Kelce's coach when they were at Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
But I totally don't like the way he handled Armstrong. He turned him into a running back, and Jafar got hurt, but he was so critical of Jafar when he was playing. He was starting, and he was his best blocking back. He was an excellent running back, and he was just all over that kid. And I thought his criticisms were just unwarranted.
How about the guy from Minnesota this week? The defensive back that was talking about Kyler Murray. Have you caught that? Did you catch any of that? It was he used to play for the Cardinals, and now he's with the Vikings.
Chris Eisen. Yeah, Chris Eisen, Kyler Murray.
Well, what he was, somebody just asked him, said something about what kind of teammate was he, and I actually saw. I got the video. I mean, the audio of the interview. I didn't get the video of it, and he said he was a teammate. But Kyler thought about Kyler and didn't think about anybody else. And that, to me, we're starting to see some of these quarterbacks that are prima donnas. I heard there was another action going on at Denver this week. In practice, there was a play that it wasn't the same defensive lineman. It was a different defensive lineman actually flattened Russell Wilson this week in practice, actually put him flat down, and he picked it up and actually threw the football at the player. But it's beginning to rub off on some of these players that if your quarterback doesn't have to show up, if practice time or film time starts at 8 a.m. and they come in at 8:45. And, with a cup of coffee in one hand, the phone in the other, talking to their wife or whoever, and, taking their hoodie off and got somebody helping them, it's just not acceptable, because these players, all of these guys are professionals. And to me, especially if you're going to be a captain of a team, which I think captain of a football team is a little different than some things, but let's just say, if you're going to be the quarterback, and that's always a captain, he's always going to be kind of one in charge. I think they should be there, set an example more than they should, just fall in there when they want to. And that, I'll tell you, they will self-police themselves. If these guys making all this money, they're not going to allow it to keep happening.
Could you imagine somebody doing that to Patrick Mahomes in practice?
Any of these guys that actually can carry a team. Yeah, I mean, look, if they're not showing up for practice, though, and that's the thing, there had to be some kind of hard feelings in Seattle for him to even have wanted to leave. Because I always thought he was a lifer at Seattle, didn't you? Didn't you think he was probably going to
Yeah, I did.
play? I thought he was going to retire there. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing rumblings that okay, somebody doesn't like something, and somebody else don't like something, and then they trade him, and now he's got an untradeable contract now. He's got $160 million owed to him for the 4 years or whatever. But it's going to be a tough marriage there for people to say, well, we're going to have to either keep him or either we're going to have to eat the contract and we got to trade him to New Orleans or something and then still bite off half his contract. I don't know how they're going to do it. Right now, I don't know a team that would even try to get Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah,
It's
they're in a tough spot. They're down draft picks because of it. And
yeah,
Cleveland baseball fan joined us in chat.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson. Yeah, he said he had to go to
Church.
church this morning. Lot of injuries on the injury front this morning. I've got to let's see.
Justin Fields is going to play though.
Is he? Obviously the biggest name is Von Miller. He's out for the season. He is done. He is done. Let's see. Let's see what the games are going to get played today. The Packers and Bears. Let's see where their quarterbacks and stuff stand. First off, I guess we got Steelers and Falcons. Let's see, Miles Jack.
That's a big game for you and I because that's the one we differed on.
Yeah, T.J. Watt is questionable today. T.J. Watt is questionable. But limited participation in practice, and that's for the Steelers. Falcons, they don't have very many injuries there. Cordell Patterson did not participate in practice this week, and his game status is not even, doesn't look like he's probably going to end up playing today. A couple of guys questionable, but Patterson's not even on the questionable list, did not participate.
With Patterson out, though, Atlanta seems to always be able to run the ball every week anyway. They're pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Whether he's there or not.
Broncos today, I mean, good Lord. They have a whole list of them. Jerry Jeudy with an ankle, limited participation. And right now he is questionable for today's game as well.
That team's full nut to 10.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna get spanked by Baltimore.
Ravens, Lamar Jackson for full participation in practice. Looking like right now he's a go this week. Jason Pierre-Paul looks like he's a go right now. But they do have a long list of people that could be out.
Now, the one thing on the injury thing, it's hard picking these games on Tuesday. Like if I'd known that Justin Fields was going to be playing, because I was thinking with the Chicago game that you got two great Green Bay running backs. You got two great Chicago running backs, Hebert and Montgomery, but Hebert's injured and he's not playing. But I kind of thought Montgomery was on his own because we didn't think Justin Fields was going to play Tuesday.
So you took it Packers, yeah.
Yeah, we both took the Packers.
I took it Packers too. I still think they'll
win, but I would have thought harder if I knew Justin Fields was playing.
Yeah, I'm just the opposite. If I know Fields is playing for the Bears, I'll pick against him quicker. I just think he's a detriment to him. I don't think he helps them a lot. I realize he's thrown for 300 yards 2 or 3 times. Yes, he's played well,
and he's run for 100 yards several times.
Yeah, but I still think, and I still think Lamar Jackson. You see, I don't think Lamar Jackson is as good as a lot of people say he is. He can win regular season games. Time for the playoffs, they're gonna key in on him and they're gonna hit him. And the thing of it is, by that time he's already taken a lot of hits. You just can't keep taking a bunch of hits.
A few years ago, when we played Lamar Jackson in Baltimore in the playoffs, the look he got when the Chiefs started taking over the game, the look he got on his face, he was panicked. And that kind of stuck with me the way he looked in that game.
Yeah, the Vikings, Christian Darrisaw. He's a tackle that came from out of Alabama.
Yeah, is he going
Uh,
to be
he
playing?
he is out with a concussion. He is out today. He
Okay.
is out. So that's a big name. Harrison Smith. He's a safety. He looks like he's going to play. And then let's see. We got the Washington. We got
Rob,
Washington.
in that game, you're going to want to watch Sauce Gardner against Justin Jefferson. That's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah. So he. I tell you what. He can bring it. He can bring it because he can hit. No doubt about it. Washington and the Giants today. Washington. Chase Young, is he going to be out again? Um, with his knee, limited participation in practice.
I
He's
think
he's questionable. It's what they
yeah,
got.
I think I heard someone say that it's getting close to the probable that he's going to play.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Benjamin St. Just, he's a cornerback, and they really need him back. He's out this week. Antonio Gibson, running back for Washington, he's questionable. Dax Milne, he's another defensive back. He is out.
is Saquon Barkley on the list?
Let's see. Good Lord. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 guys for the Giants listed. That is nuts. Let's see. Is Barkley on the list? No, he's not even on the list.
Yeah, Boomer Esiason said 2 days ago on his morning show that he thinks that Saquon's fighting an injury because his last 2 weeks, his numbers have been way down. He should have run all over the Detroit Lions. He didn't get anywhere against the Lions. So he thinks he's injured.
Looks like Evan Neal. He's a tackle. It looks like he's going to play. They've got a couple of cases of COVID on that team too, with Darius Slayton, Gary Brightwell. So they've got some COVID cases. It looks like this week, and we'll see if they end up playing. Kenny Galladay, he's a wide receiver. He's got it as well. It looks like so. He may not play. Questionable. All these guys have thrown as questionable now. But they've got 4. Yeah, they got 3 wide receivers, and they are all thrown up as questionable today. That is, that hurts a team. I don't care, if you don't have deep receivers. It just shows that you got to go find somewhere else.
Well, they've kind of been dealing with that all year long.
Let's
I do
see.
have a theory if you're missing 2 stars on the same unit, that's a big problem for a team.
Travis Etienne for the Jags, he's questionable today. They're playing the Lions. I really like the Lions in that ball game. I really do. That's one we went against y'all with, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Lions big in this. I really do.
You might be right there. Jacksonville's ETN, though, I think is going to play.
Etienne, all it says right here is Travis Etienne questionable right now. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Limited participation in practice. He's got a foot injury.
Right.
Yeah. And then Jeff Okudah, he's a good defensive back for the Lions. Full participation in practice. Right now, look like he's a go. They only got 2 guys out. The rest of them look like they're goes. Evan Brown, he's a guard, and they got Julian Aquara. He's a linebacker. Now let's look at Green Bay. Let's look at the Packers here. Is Rodgers going to be a go this week? Limited participation in practice. Looks like he's going to play. Bakhtiari though, he's a tackle. He's out. Knee and the illness as well. You can't afford to lose those guys. Aaron Jones, limited participation in practice. Looks like he's a go though. A.J. Dillon, limited participation in practice. Looks like he's a go.
Sometimes they rest the veterans though. Those limited in practice. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes they just rest them.
Yeah. Bears, Trevor Siemian. He's got an oblique injury himself. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Maybe
he
that's
was
why
hurt
Justin Fields is playing, so he's probably playing hurt.
and did not participate. And he's out. Simeon's out today.
Who's the other quarterback they got?
I don't know. Let's see if it's anybody else. Chase Claypool for full participation in practice. He will play. Dante Pettis, wide receiver, full participation. Um, Justin Fields, full participation in practice, and he's a go right now. Yeah, that's the only two that's on the injured list. Titans, Traylon Burks, uh, undisclosed injury. Looks like he's a go right now.
Back to Justin Fields. He's going to be playing, but they were suggesting on the Sunday morning shows that he's going to be like limited usage. I mean, they're not going to run him all over the field like they have in the past.
Derrick Henry has got an undisclosed injury this week too, but full participation, like you say, it could be just like I'm tired, and you could understand that with him because he is a workhorse. He is that good. But
Burks he's going to. Traylon Burks has been kind of hot lately. The last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been playing pretty well.
And there's a long list of Eagles right now. The Eagles, they haven't played as well lately. I mean, Washington was able to beat them, but they're not playing as well as they have been. C.J. Gardner Johnson, he has kidney stones. He's the safety. He's the only one going to be out. But Fletcher Cox. I mean, they got Brandon Graham. They've got a whole list. Darius Slade, Devontae Smith, Jason Kelce.
I don't know if he's coming yet, but there's somebody coming on the Eagles. His name is Jordan Davis. The one thing the Eagles have not done well is stop the run. So they got Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. And so they're doing better, but they've also got Jordan Davis coming. He's that big guy out of Georgia. He's not going to play all year, and they think he's about ready to go. I don't know if he'll be playing this week.
Right.
Probably not, but maybe next week Jordan Davis is coming. And he
may not be on the active roster list right now. Yeah, he may not be. The Browns, now don't forget they've got their quarterback coming back this week, I think. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Against Houston.
I heard it's not been real pretty in practice. Preseason was a little pretty. So he may not be playing as well as Jacoby Brissett was playing when he left.
And David Njoku, tight end for the Browns, he's out. Nick Chubb, they said he's a little banged up. Amari Cooper's a little banged up. Myles Garrett is banged up. They're all a go today. They're going to try to play.
I think they'll be fine there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be. Brandon Cooks, can they unload him out of Texas, Houston quick enough? Hadn't he been the cancer this year? Hadn't he been the one that's been showing off, running his mouth? He was the one that played New England, I think, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. He's not been a great locker room presence, but there's just not a lot of talent over there.
No, and I'll tell you one thing. I'm not sure Lovie Smith brings the talent out of anybody. It looks like wherever he goes, they're just not. Brandon Cooks is out today, as well as Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback. They're out. And then Miami and San Francisco, I really think this is going to be a heck of a game today. I really do. Tua, he's on the injured list, but
the two offensive tackles are out.
Really?
Jackson and Armstead for Miami. That's a problem.
Yeah. Austin Jackson. Yep. Armstead, doubtful. They've just got him as a doubtful now. He's not all the way out yet right now.
I heard this morning he's not playing.
Oh, had you? Okay.
Yeah, and they were talking about early in the week, 60% chance of rain, and it's looking like rain in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. What's up, Sean? Lovey is a 500 coach constantly. Yeah, Sean, come on and join us if you care to. I sent Sean. Sean Armstrong's new to the channel, Brian, and he's from Iowa. He's a big Minnesota Wild fan, and we kind of lit him up on Red, White, and Blue Racing. And he's been watching a few of the videos, and now I think he's interested in it. So, uh, yeah, he may be looking into maybe getting it. Jimmy Garoppolo, he got him on the injured list. Full participation in practice, though. So let's see, McCaffrey, um, he he was full participation in practice.
Yeah, if he gets hurt though, they don't have Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell's out, so that
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell is out. Yeah, Debo Samuel's questionable today. Trent Williams, they can ill afford to lose him.
I think
He's a
he's fine.
yeah, they got him as a questionable
He's
right here.
fighting a back issue,
And
but
then the Seahawks,
I
my
haven't really
goodness.
seen the games yet.
Seahawks have a list as long as you're on. Marquise Goodwin, is he going to play? Looks like full participation in practice. They don't really have anybody out. Ryan Neal, Josh Jones, Travis Horner, all questionable. Then the Rams, they have, good Lord, Stafford, Cam Akers.
Stanford's done for the year.
Yeah, Aaron Donald. Is Donald out too? I
Yeah,
think
ankle sprain last week, so he's probably
he's out. He is out. He is out. Here we got Sean.
It's hard to play
Here's
with
Sean here.
Here's Sean.
Good morning, my friend. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We don't have his. Oh, yeah, we're doing great. Yeah. So you like that red, white, and
All
blue
right.
racing?
What?
You saw that red, you saw that red, white, and blue racing, and you liked it.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know how many seasons of it. So if you end up deciding you get it, let me know about it, and I'll send you some seasons so you can get them printed out for drivers. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It really is. We're just talking
Okay.
about some of the football games going on today. Man, I tell you, there's a lot of guys injured. Chargers. Mike Williams with an ankle did not participate. He's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see.
It's
The
like an
Raiders.
all year thing with him. He played about 1 or 2 plays in the Chiefs game and just couldn't go.
Yeah. Derek Carr is he's a go this week. Derek Carr is. And then they'll see the Chiefs. I guess you know the Chiefs list already. Of the
Oh,
outs.
good.
Kadarius Toney, he's out. Yeah.
Our left guard's going to be out.
Looks like Deion Bush. It looks like Deion Bush could be out this week. Is what they're saying now. So it was questionable. Now it looks like he's a doubtful. Joe Thuney, he is, or is it Tooney or Thuney?
It's Tooney.
Tooney, he's
a
questionable.
All-Pro offensive line we got from New England. We've had him a couple of years. Mike Allegretti will take his place. Allegretti's a good player. He'll be okay.
Yeah. Jamar Chase for the Bengals, is he going to play? He's got a hip injury.
He's definitely playing, and he's feeling 100% okay. He said.
And Joe Mixon, they got him questionable. Chase and Mixon both, and Logan Wilson. So
I would almost rather see Mixon than P. Ryan. Samaje P. Ryan's been outstanding.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the college football yesterday, Sean?
Yeah, I was doing pretty good, and then there's one game, and then Utah. Utah is my good pick.
Yeah, let's see who. Let's see. TCU. And TCU and Kansas State. You took TCU. We all took TCU though. I don't. But the thing of it is,
I lost that one.
Yeah, TCU. And now the thing of it is, today at lunchtime, in a little less than 2 hours from now, they got to decide whether to put TCU in that top 4. That was their first loss of the year. Me and Brian still say TCU belongs in that top 4. What do you think, Sean? I mean, they lost in overtime. Do you think they belong?
Well, I agree with you. I'm just afraid that they're going to try to slip in Alabama or LSU, or not LSU, but Alabama.
Oh, Alabama, Ohio State, either one. Yeah, Ohio State. And one of those teams are going to make it because the night before, USC laid an egg against Utah. I mean, that was just a tail whipping, 47-24. And I don't think you can lose. I don't think you can lose that game and be your second loss by 23 points.
Yeah.
And don't you agree, Brian? You can't lose that by 23 points, make it your second loss, and make it playoffs. I think USC is out. I think they're officially out.
In that K-State and TCU game, did you notice? I think his name is Cade Warner. He's Kurt Warner's son, receiver for Kansas State.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's a really pretty good receiver. I think he was a walk-on at Nebraska, and then he transferred to K-State and actually walked on there also. And I think in both places he ended up being a captain on the teams. Pretty impressive.
You know what? With that transfer portal the way it is, watch it for Colorado next year.
Yeah.
Because they're getting Deion Sanders.
I wonder how many from Jackson State if he's going to take anybody.
Well, he's already got it. They have said that his son is a quarterback. He's coming. And then one other kid has already announced he's going. But now there's been some talk about this kid at North Carolina, May. He's a freshman. He's a quarterback. I've heard there's been reports of 4 different coaches contacting him during his season, trying to get him to transfer. If that ends up happening, boy, you're gonna see some fines galore, because that's serious tampering, because you're not even supposed to be talking to these kids. And
he's got a pretty substantial coach at North Carolina already, so I'm not sure he's going to want to leave. We'll
see. I tell you what, but he's a freshman, and I'll tell you what, he really impressed me this year. He did, man. I'll tell you,
he's awesome.
He's a big kid too. TCU. Sean, do you think TCU should be in the playoff?
Yep.
We're all of it thinking they should be.
Because they only lost by 3. It's not like they got blown out,
And it went to overtime. It went to overtime. Yeah, it went to overtime. They could have easily have won that ball game. It's not like they had a 30-point lead and blew it. I mean, they stuck with this team all day long. They played really, really well with them. Now, how about this though? TCU makes it into the playoff. They play a Michigan team.
Oof.
Do they have a chance? Do they have a chance to beat Michigan?
I think they have a chance. I don't see it, but they do have a chance. I don't think they'll embarrass themselves.
I think they're big enough and physical enough to stand up to Michigan. Yes, I think they have a chance.
Yeah.
So,
those Michigan defensive backs, they better tackle, because TCU's wide receivers are really good after the catch. And the line is really good. So if they don't tackle, they're not going to win.
So you guys don't think they get embarrassed by over 14 points then?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Wow. Now, what do you think the opening line would be if TCU plays Michigan? I'm gonna say 13. I'm gonna say 13.
13. I'd probably go 10, 10 and a half.
What do you think, Brian?
I don't think it'll be that high. I think it'll favor Michigan, but I don't think it'll be that high.
Oh, you don't think so? Okay. Now, let's say they play Georgia. Let's say TCU plays Georgia.
Ooh.
And Sean's went, ooh. So I guess he feels like there's a little bit more of a gut shot there. You don't think they got as good a chance of beating Georgia then, Sean?
No. I don't think anybody does.
How about you, Brian? TCU.
I've watched Michigan, and I've watched TCU about 4 games this year, and I've watched Michigan 3 or 4 games. I have actually not watched Georgia much, so it's hard to say.
I've seen Georgia play 5 times this year.
Yesterday, 50-30. They're definitely deserving number 1.
Personally, I think they have the best quarterback of any of the 6 playoff teams possible. Stetson Bennett, man, I'll tell you what. Did you see him play yesterday, Sean?
No, I didn't get to see that.
Oh my gosh, he was running, rolling out. I like a TCU quarterback. I like him.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as Duggan.
I don't know. I think I would rather have Bennett right now with the team that he's with. Now, I think if you're going to take him into the pros and stuff, I think Duggan's a better quarterback. But Bennett doesn't turn the ball over. I don't know. It just looks like to me, you throw 50 on the board on anybody, that's impressive. In LSU, people are like, well, LSU shouldn't have been there to start with. LSU, they beat some good teams this year.
Yeah.
And that whole SEC, when you pull them up in a big ball, if you pull one name out they have to play, you don't want to play none of them. I mean,
Right.
people can say what they want to. You can say even what you want to about Jimbo Fisher's crew at A&M, but that is, that's not a week off. That's not a week that you're going to say, oh, well, we'll just go in there and just take a win. No,
TCU took a physical beating yesterday, but at no point did they give up. I mean, they were.
No, you're right. Yeah, they had. I tell you what, both teams had like 6 or 8 guys get hurt yesterday.
Oh,
Kansas State had a bunch of. Yeah, and
Mhm.
that's the one thing I don't like about them playing in a dome stadium. I'd much rather see them play outside, and
on the turf. Yeah, on turf.
Yeah, instead of prescription turf or grass, either one. I would much rather watch that. I just think it's a better football game. But these kids that can run, they really can run, and that's the one thing they can do. So Ohio State, they get a second chance at Michigan. Can they beat Michigan, Sean?
Yeah, they could beat them.
You think so? What do you think, Brian?
Michigan's been all over for 2 times in a row. I kind of began to think that they
wouldn't have much of a chance. I don't think they would have. What scares me is the front 5. I mean, offensive line with Michigan, and then their defensive line. They pushed them around the last time. I mean, my goodness, what they beat them by? Was it 20 or 30? It was over 20.
Yeah, it was at least that number 58 on Michigan's defensive line. I think it's about 340 pounds.
Yeah, and that's what's got to scare you.
It's like trying to move a boulder,
If Stroud doesn't have time to throw the football, it doesn't matter how good of receivers you got. If you're giving him 2 seconds and then all of a sudden somebody's hitting him, I'm not,
I'm a huge Ronnie Bell fan of Michigan also. He had that one catch where it went off his fingertips, but he is an outstanding receiver.
So, yeah, I don't think Ohio State. I think now, what kind of line would it be there, Brian? Ohio State, Michigan by opening line if they were going to play.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 7, maybe, or
7. What do you think? What do you think, Sean?
Let's see. I think that's probably about right after the last game.
Yeah, I think maybe it'd be 12 or 13. I think they would have to stretch it a little bit after the way they played it last time.
Yeah.
Now let's.
Ohio State has probably a bigger fan base than around the country. I think than Michigan might.
Probably. Now let's say Ohio State has to play Georgia. And Sean's laughing about that one. Do they have a chance? And when I say do they have a fighter's chance to beat Georgia, Sean?
No.
Brian?
Probably not.
I don't think so either, because I'll tell you what, that was his name, number 88, I think, for Georgia. He's only like a sophomore or junior, and he got like 4 sacks last night. And he's built like a tank. He's like 6'5" and 330, 340, and he's a defensive lineman. And he went out here and run down the LSU running back and quarterback. And I'm like, oh my Lord, these guys. And that's the thing. You do have to remember, yeah, it was a 20-point game, but halfway through that quarter, it was 30. And they set them all down. They set all their regulars down. It was just nuts. Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has some defensive linemen and offensive linemen that are mean. This is just my thinking. If Georgia's going to get beat, I think Michigan's got to be the team to beat them. Brian, what do you think? If anybody out there, I'm not even sure Alabama can do it.
I'm a huge TCU fan. They've been battle tested.
So you think TCU would have a fighter's chance against Georgia?
I think they have a fighter's chance, yeah.
How about you, Sean? Right now, if you had to pick one team that you think, okay, this team I think can beat Georgia, and include Alabama too. If you really think Alabama,
I guys, I don't think anybody can beat Joy. I think it's just a hopeless.
Really?
But maybe TCU.
I just this is my fear for TCU. If this quarterback is excellent.
Yeah.
But if you only give him half or 1/3 of the time that he's used to getting, and they're like all over him, it could look really, really bad, really, really quick. I don't think they got a chance in heck of running the football on Georgia.
Georgia's
No.
going to, when they play TCU, they're going to have to mind their running lanes because that kid can take off and really
Yeah,
go.
they can do that, but I just don't know if anybody, just like Alabama, and that's the one thing that may come into play for them to put Alabama in this playoff. They're looking at the four teams that they think can knock each other off right now. TCU.
I would
To
think
me,
Georgia would have to put a spy on that quarterback, and that would make it a little
Probably.
easier to throw.
Probably. But I'm not, if I'm looking at the four best teams out of those six, I'm not sure TCU is one of them. That's me. I think Alabama would beat TCU on a neutral field right now. I just think they would. But that's not saying that TCU. I still say TCU deserves to be there because they've done everything asked of them all year long, and then they lose that game yesterday. So I think TCU. I still think TCU would be the fifth best team. I think Ohio State's the sixth best team. I really think Ohio State. I think Ohio State plays any of those five teams above them right there. I don't think they beat them. I think they're going to get beat. That's just my opinion.
I'm not discounting TCU for that loss yesterday because it's always harder to beat a team the second time. K-State knew the problems that they had the first game. They knew they didn't tackle very well, and they fixed that problem. It's always harder to beat a team the second time.
Yeah, they just the one thing that scares me about the Big 12 is they always score. It's always a lot of big score, a lot of score, a lot of score, a lot of score. Can they play a game against a Georgia team and play a 24-20 game and win? I just don't know if they can do that or not. I don't know if they've got the defensive components to stick in there and be like, okay, we're going to be smacking you upside the face for the 60 minutes type game. If it gets to be a run and gun game, of course, TCU can stick with any of these teams. But right now, I would put them as my fifth best team. I still think I think Ohio State would be my sixth best team. And I would put TCU fourth because I think USC right now would probably be my sixth. Yeah, I would put because
Caleb Williams is healthy.
If they got the quarterback healthy, but still their defense is worse than any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, yeah, they only
receivers wide open.
They only forced the other team for 28 punts this year. 28 punts, and that's in 12 games.
We count on takeaways pretty real heavily. Yeah.
Yeah. So, USC, I guess they won't get to Rose Bowl now. That'll be Utah. So I don't know where they'll get to play. So that'll be interesting. Now, if let's say Ohio State is back in this chase again,
K-State
does Penn State get to go to the or does Purdue, since they made the championship game? I don't know. I don't know.
They got 5 losses now, though.
Yeah, they shouldn't be there. That's for sure. Yeah, but Penn State. I think it's probably going to be Penn State, Utah. Penn State, Utah at the Rose Bowl.
That'd be a good game.
It should be. I think Utah's a little better. I think Utah's a little better there. Penn State got pushed around a little bit by
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan and Ohio State. They got pushed around a lot. Yeah. They just didn't have the players to stick with those two teams.
Yeah. I just think if Michigan is beatable, if the other coach like at the first of the game, like pushes. If they get behind, I think they're in trouble.
Who, Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think they can count on their quarterback to come back from 10 down with
Yeah.
5 minutes left. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think if you play some kind of zone trap or something like that and be like, okay, you're not going to beat us 20 yards down the field. Yeah, I'm with you. They got eight, 10-yard passes.
In the beginning of the year, I would definitely say that about McCarthy, but he has made some big strides this year. And the McCarthy that you're seeing now is better than he was the first 5 or 6
Oh, there's no doubt about that. But these other teams, Georgia, you could spot a team 10 points on them right at the beginning of the game, and I don't think you'd think, well, this team is out of here. We're going to flip a channel. No, because Georgia.
Well, Harbaugh's team's not going to walk off the field.
No.
Like Alice, you did.
No. I just think the SEC is better. That's just me. I just think from top to bottom, the fifth best SEC team, if you put them against the fifth best Big Ten team, I don't think it's much of a game. That's just my opinion. That's me. But we'll see what happens.
I'm betting this year, though. Well, we've seen some of this. The fifth best Big 12 team, I think, could play with the fifth best SEC.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm not sure the Big 12 is not a better conference than the Big 10 right now. Big 10, they're loaded up top, 2 or 3 up top. But man, oh man, look at Michigan State. How far can you fall? Last year, didn't they lose just 1 or 2? Is all.
Yeah.
I mean, and now they're talking about firing their coach. I'm like, you can't do that right here 1 year in, and then Minnesota's got a brand new coach. Let's see, who did they bring in? Who did Minnesota bring in?
They replaced Jerry Kill.
I want to say Minnesota just brought in somebody, and then now, Iowa. They've got what's Iowa's coach's name? He's been around forever.
Yeah,
Kirk Ferentz. Kirk Ferentz. I'm hearing they're talking about firing him.
Oh, well, there's a lot.
It was hard to watch their games last year. Their offense was just horrible.
A lot of people are upset because his son is the offensive coordinator, and he doesn't have any experience hardly, and they just kind of pushed him into a Power 5, and so everybody in Iowa was upset, and they want that kid gone, and the AD won't do it. So
one thing about Kirk Ferentz, I really like him defensively, but he was recruiting the kid out of the high school I went to about 4 or 5 years ago. DeJohn Colbert was a very good linebacker, number 32. He's graduated now. But when he first met Colbert, he told him, he says, I'll tell you the truth, I want to sign you, but I'm going to do my darndest to find somebody who's better than you are, and I'm going to sign him next year. And that he knew how to motivate his players. And that really motivated Colbert. He became a very good linebacker for 4 years for Iowa. I like Ferentz's approach.
I like that kid that they had at defensive line last year that ended up going to the pros. Who was that? What was his name?
Who went to the pros?
What was his name?
Lindemann, the center.
No, I'm talking about this defensive lineman. He's like 6'5", like a little bony jabroni. He wasn't a real big guy. I mean, he was a right big guy, real tall. What was his name? Oh my gosh, I'll get his name out for you in a second. And I think he's exceeded expectations so far.
Yeah, they have a bunch of people going to the portal this year already.
Iowa defensive lineman that made the pros.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. The Iowa people want Ferentz to open up a little bit, but he's a little bit the offense, but he's a little bit stubborn. So,
well, he's a whole lot stubborn. Yeah, but the fact is, I'm with Brian. I think he's a heck of a defensive side of the ball coach. But you cannot bring your son. You can't bring your son in there and do like that. That's just not right. That's
no.
What is it? Let's see. 2022 in Iowa Hawkeyes. I want to say he played for Iowa. I want to say that. He might not.
It's funny because usually Iowa can be counted on to have the top offensive lineman in the country and tight, but they don't even have that this year.
Yeah. What is that guy? And Hawkinson, T.J. Hawkinson. He was a
Tight
tight
end.
end. Yeah,
Tight end.
he came out of there. He's been traded around. Is he was he with the Lions and then went to
He's
the
with the Lions.
Vikings?
He's with the Vikings now.
Yeah, yeah. He's impressive. I want to say this kid. He may not be. He may not have been an Iowa kid, but I thought he was. He was a big white kid, and he's about 6'5" or 6'6", and he's. Jeez, maybe he's Purdue. Maybe it's Purdue he played for, and let me
Well,
see.
we got George Karlaftis out of Purdue.
George Karlaftis.
He's a chief. He's from Purdue.
Oh my God, he's not built like a defensive lineman. He's like 6'4", 6'5".
He was in Greece. He was a water polo player, so his core is really strong.
Yeah,
he had a big
Karlaftis. That's who I was talking about. Karlaftis.
He also leads the NFL. Karlaftis leads the NFL in passes batted down. NFL lineman.
Well, that's understandable because isn't he about 6'6", 6'7"?
No, he's about 6'4".
Oh, I thought he was taller than that. I thought he was a real tall guy. But
he got a sack last week. He's got 1.5 sacks, but he's got 5 batted down passes, and he's defended the run really well too.
Yeah. So, Sean, how much videos have you been watching since you came on with us last? You said you watched some stuff about red, white, and blue racing.
I watched a few videos on that. And then I was today I was researching any college basketball games that were.
There's an old one, March Madness. Have you looked into March Madness?
March Madness, that's a real high price game too, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Probably is now, yeah.
Yeah, March Madness. It's made by
the old
Avalon Hill, because I've got the Status Pro basketball, Status Pro.
Oh.
I've got that one. But any of those Avalon Hill games, you generally pay $100, $150 a piece for them.
That Status Pro basketball games, I think, is one of the best sports simulation games out there.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's really fun for 2 people because you can bench them when you want to, set them down when you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a real flow of basketball.
It really does. I've got like 5 seasons of that. So I got a couple in the 80s and 2 or 3 in the 90s.
Do you have their great teams that?
The great teams.
Great teams that
I don't have that one. I don't have
1980.
No, I don't have that one. That golf that I was telling you about, Sean. And when I talk about it's me and Alan Shaw, a couple other guys. We have added some more courses and straight up PDF free to anybody that wants them. So if you end up getting a game, yeah, man, just get you one course, and then he's at Royal St. George's where they played the Open at this year. We created that one, and and we worked together and in unison. I don't know. It probably took us a month, maybe 3 weeks, to get the yardages up and everything like that, as far as how far the guys could hit the ball and stuff like that. But that's a lot, man. That's a lot of fun. And me and Alan from over in the UK, we played the Ryder Cup last year, and with that game, and I had American golfers, he had European golfers, and oh man, that was a lot of fun. So you can, if you're able to find it, it's back. If you can find my catalog, go way back, and it just says Ryder Cup, and then me and Alan played against each other doing that, and we always have a lot of fun doing that. Is this your first time meeting Brian?
Yeah.
Brian, me and Brian, our channel. Brian's got a channel. I got a channel, and my channel, we pick football every week. His channel picks football every week, and then we go against each other. So right now we're tied. I think we're tied.
You're one up on me.
Oh, we're one up.
You're on an incredible hot streak.
We're one up, and we got 2 games against this week. So
this week I sprinkled holy water on my picks this week. I'm hoping for a better result this week.
So Sean may become one of my regulars. Comes in. Yeah, we're hoping to get 9 to 10 people every week, and that way. So yeah, we do that on Tuesday nights at 7, Sean. So I don't know if that'll work for you. It'll be 6 for you, correct?
Yeah, I start at 6 Central Time.
Central Time. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do my
we
picks
start at 7.
Sean, I do
Okay.
my picks a little differently. We just do the straight up picks, but Rob's channel does colleges, and they also.
And the thing is, we won't have much college this week because we got the Army Navy game, so it's pretty much going to be straight up pro picks this week. So we'll be done a lot quicker.
Well, they pick against the line also.
Yeah, we go to the line on ours, and then they do straight up on. So if you decide to join either one of our channels this week, it'd be real cool.
Hey, I even checked out a wrestling game. I don't know if that's the one you were talking about last time, but Face to the Mat.
Face to the Mat. Yeah, that's on play.com.
But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got one right here that's actually if you're a big wrestling fan, this one right here has got like photos and stuff of legends of wrestling. Yeah, I'll show that one to you and just get it to you right now. I'll show it to you.
And I think is that Phil Singer games. I think
Phil Singer games. Yeah, they cost a little bit more for them too. Yeah, like Ultimate Warrior, different ones. And they come in little boxes like this. Come in a little box and these wrestlers, and somebody actually draws them, and then they do. You can do death matches and death jumps and all that kind of stuff and all that. But I got different wrestlers and all up in there. And I think you get for like 10 or 15 wrestlers, it costs you like $12-$14, and they send it to you. This is one of the things they send it to you, and they won't bend at all. So when it comes in the mail, all your cards are pretty good shape. Cool. Yeah, I had Face to the Mat for a while. It was all right. It's just they don't base it on none of the real wrestlers because they worry about trademarking. Yeah, trademarking and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
I saw something where a guy used the card Triple G.
Yeah, Triple G instead of Triple H. Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that racing game. I mean, I was very impressed.
And then if you end up meeting Alan, the guy from England, he does these mats. Like this is one for soccer. Like
wow, that's nice.
He does full size ones, and they've got them out for racing. I've got a racing mat around here somewhere. I could actually show it to you. Mine's full size. I can put it on a table. So if I want to play it, they stick right to the mat and all. It's pretty cool. And Alan does it. Alan's got a thing to print it with over in England. And my man Dwayne Martz, he's the one that does the YRL racing now, the ones with all of the people in the leagues and stuff. He that's his exclusive person that prints stuff out for him. We've got different places around the U.S. that we can get them printed out too, and different mats. Yeah, I've got a few mats. I've got a couple of them in a tube over here put away. But I played I did a whole racing season right at 2000 or whatever, 36 races. And I'll tell you one thing, man, when you do a full race and you do 50 laps or whatever, that takes about 2 hours. So but we do some of the shorter races and stuff. And I'm thinking about doing a truck series. I used to like the old Craftsman truck series back in the mid 90s. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a whole card set on that, and then making them free to anybody in the public too, and see if anybody's interested. Yeah. So
there's all kinds. Yeah, it looks like there's all kinds of options in that game you could do. You could make up your own drivers, and then kind of like Stone Cold.
Yeah, you can. They've got made up sets if you buy the game, and it's even got biographies. Like this guy's been, this guy went to the mental hospital 3 times before he was released, and then that kind of stuff. And then they call him Nutbag Johnson or what, I don't know, whatever, but whatever it is, but it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. I enjoy playing it. Brian, I don't know if Brian plays many of the play games or not. You're mostly baseball and football, aren't you, Brian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'll play basketball some. I'll play a little bit of everything here. I got a little bit of bowling. It's just,
Bowling.
but, oh yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I think I'm going to mess around with maybe that tennis, and we'll see if I like that or not. I may do that, but yeah, if you end up getting golf, and you end up, I'm going to ask a question. I mean, it's a nosy question. You can say pass or whatever. Are you a police officer?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been on medical leave because I got a new kidney, and so I've been home quite a bit, and so
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because you sent me an email, and I was like, okay, he's an officer. He's a police officer. I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool. So I was like, I was going to ask you. I wanted to ask you that. So thank you, sir. We appreciate your service, man. I'll tell
thank you.
what,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Some of our best friends, our husbands, are in Philadelphia, and he's on a motorcycle. Now, do you drive motorcycles or cars?
I drive an old truck.
I'm talking about when you're police.
Oh,
when you're
okay.
an
No,
officer.
I drive a kind of SUV. It's the thing around here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one we know in Philly, he does in motorcycles and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
He's the one that has to go catch people on 95 going about 130 and stuff.
Oh,
like, no,
that always scared me. Even watching TV, I couldn't do that.
What motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either. Now I like riding motorcycles and I like riding them fast, but I don't want to be out here with these nutbags out here on highways doing that stuff. No, I like doing a lot of jumps and stuff on dirt. I've always liked playing in the dirt with 4-wheelers and motorcycles and stuff. That's my thing. But yeah, but I noticed that, so I figured I'm gonna ask Sean when next time I get him on here. So thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's see today's games, guys. It's some good games out there. Packers and the Bears. Packers are 2.5-point favorites. Brian picked them. Right now, are you more pushing for the Bears? Do you think now, Brian, with their quarterback?
I probably would still stay with Green Bay, but yeah, it's scaring me that Fields is going to play. I
think it's going to be a low-scoring game here. I really do. I think it's going to be a real low-scoring game. And this is close to home for Sean. Packers and Bears. You don't see the Bears pull that upset too often, do you, Sean, out there?
No, not really. I mean, I like them in this game because I think the Packers are just a constant disappointment.
And so you think the Bears will straight up win this game today?
Yep.
Okay. And then me and Brian, our channels disagreed on this one. The Steelers versus the Falcons in Atlanta, in the Dome. Falcons are a 1-point favorite, so it's pretty much a pick'em game.
Yeah.
Brian, let's see. Oh, that's right. You went along with us, though, but
yeah,
your channel went against us. But your channel. So Brian likes the Falcons too, but his channel.
Oh, no, that game I picked Pittsburgh.
Oh, did you take Pittsburgh? Okay, I thought you took.
Yeah, the channel split, but I went with Pittsburgh, and we decided.
Oh, okay. I got you, and you went under.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had you down as taking the Falcons this week. Good. I'm glad I was updating stuff. So he likes the Steelers. I like the Falcons this week. That kid for the Steelers, he's coming along, but slowly. But
this last 6 games has come along too.
And TJ Watt may play, may not play. That's a big
one. Yeah.
That's
a big Michael Fitzpatrick back.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Mariota. He runs around and gets loose and stuff. He's one of the quarterbacks. Geno Smith, the guy that played for the Eagles, that's got his Foles. Those three have never had a chance to really go out and play two or three seasons in a row and get the opportunity. And Mariota finally is getting that chance now. So
if you look at Mariota's numbers, he's at 62% with 14 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, 7.4 per attempt. But that looks good. But in the end of games, he often folds. And does not play well in the end of games. That's the problem.
I'll tell you right now, is anybody resurrected a career like Geno Smith out in Seattle though? I mean, Geno Smith
in long touchdown passes right now. Or touchdown passes over 20 yards. Geno Smith leads the league. More than Mahomes, more now.
Geno Smith, man, I'll tell you what. They had some confidence in him in Seattle. They decided to unload Russell Wilson, and now they're paying dollar store prices instead of top of the line prices, and they're able to keep a good defense in there with them too. So that's pretty good there. We got the Jets and the Vikings today. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. Brian likes the Jets in this game, but your channel went with the Vikings. I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota at home in this game too. I think Minnesota is going to be. I mean, they laid an egg against was it Dallas 40-3 or something? Yeah. Since then, they haven't really played that bad.
We'll see how Sauce Gardner, the rookie corner, does against Justin Jefferson. That's going to be it. I think
that should be a heck of a matchup. It really should. Jaguars playing the Lions today. You guys took the Jags in this game, and I'm taking the line. We're taking Lions in this game for one reason. I like that kid. I really like that kid on the defensive line. He has really impressed me. The guy that came from Michigan.
Hutchinson's the only one.
Hutchinson,
he's got a good linebacker, but there's not too many good defenders on that team.
Yeah, Hutchinson is a heck. But where are they going to go next year? Are they going to go defense again when they get to top one or two or three picks? We'll see what happens there. Titans at the Eagles. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites in this game. They've got some injuries, but I will say this much. I think maybe that might be the toughest place to go to play is Philadelphia. And Tannehill today he will see the dirt. He will see that they will introduce him to the grass at Philadelphia. But Titans have got to be a team that scares the AFC because they're a team that can play some defense and can run the football. So we'll see what happens there. It should be a really good game.
Too many ways to beat you, and I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to cover all those ways.
You just don't think Tennessee can do it against the Eagles, do you? No. I don't think so either. Mm-hmm. Then we got the Browns against the Texans today. Really, I'll tell you what. So you took the Browns, didn't you, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took the Texans in the points here. I'm not sure the Texans win this game, but this is Watson's first game back in, almost, competitive situations over a year. And, he played some preseason, but that's not competitive. That's non-competitive. I call that two-hand touch type stuff. This is a real deal. And he's coming back to where everything happened. He's coming back.
He hasn't played in a live game for 700 days. That's almost
that's a long time.
Yeah.
And then when he did play in preseason, they say he looked rusty. I didn't see him in preseason. I don't watch preseason. But this is a game that scares the heck out of me if I'm Cleveland. If you put all your chips in on a kid and now he's coming back week 13 and all, he better show up today. And I just don't have a confidence that he is going to go in there and be like, okay, I've been practicing for the last 12 weeks. I'm going to get together with you guys. And now this is week 13 and we're all going to be a happy family. I'm not sold on it. We'll see what happens.
They're going to run the ball a lot and just have him primarily manage the game.
Yeah, and he may try to run the ball a whole lot too. And then we got the Commanders at the Giants. This is a pick'em game too. Rob, you're a Commanders fan. Yeah, I am a Commanders fan, but still, I'm a Heineke fan too. This Heineke kid has outplayed the guy they got from the Colts. He's outplayed him.
He's outplayed Wentz. He doesn't get
Wentz.
sacked. Wentz is a statue.
He's outplayed Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Giants, I just don't. I don't. I think Washington can stop their passing game. Now, can they stop Saquon Barkley? I don't know, but I think they can score with them. I really do. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game today. I really do, and I think the Commanders win this ball game. May not win by over a field goal, but I think they'll win it. And then the Broncos and Ravens this week. This might be the tear down game of the week. This could be 20, 30 points. It really could. Who you like in that game, Sean?
What's the point spread on that one?
6.5 is all the Ravens are giving up. Do you like the Broncos' chances here? Do you like it, Broncos? I don't either. I do not either. No,
it's going to be a blowout.
I think it could. I think it could be by halftime. What do you think, Brian?
Oh, I'm looking for a blowout. We have to cover it on the channel. We're contractually have to talk about all the games, but this is a sad game. It
really is, and I think we get it in here. I think we get that one here from our home viewing purposes, and we can see if we can see how many people want to beat up what's his name, Russell Wilson. Before.
I got to go to church in about 10 minutes. I need to walk away.
All right, Brian. Have a good one, my friend. We're just going to finish talking about the last time, and I won't forget the Chiefs.
Sean, very nice to meet you, and keep in touch with us.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay.
Hope to see you again.
Alex Maffasoli said Russell Wilson is going to be a waiter at Applebee's after this season's over. No, he doesn't have to be. He's got $165 million. Yeah. He'll have somebody waiting on him. Trust me. Dolphins and 49ers this week. I'll tell you what. I think this. I really
like a good game.
I think it is too. I really do. I think it's an evening game of the week this week. Dolphins can score with anybody. And the 49ers are one of the best defensive teams out there. 49ers are 4.5-point favorites. I thought that was too much. I really did. I think maybe it's a field goal game. I took a Dolphins here. I don't, I may be wrong, but I did take a Dolphins in that game.
Yeah, that's a nice pick.
Seahawks, they're 3-point favorites against the Rams. Rams do not have Stafford, and the Rams do not have Cooper Kupp, and they do not have Aaron Donald. He's out too.
Oh, I didn't know Aaron Donald was out.
He is out too. I like Seahawks big in this ballgame. I think they're going to go down to L.A. and show them what for. Look, you don't win the ball game in the first 2 minutes. You don't win the ball game in the first 10 minutes. Geno Smith may come out the gate slow. They may run the football. They may get a couple of field goals. But by the time the game's over with, they've probably got 26, 28 points. It doesn't matter how you get them. I just think they're going to beat the Rams. And I gave up at 3 points. Who would you like in this game, Sean? Seahawks and Rams. Do you think the Rams, with a backup quarterback, backup defensive line, and backup wide receivers, can they stick with this Seahawks team?
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult too.
Too many injuries at those key spots. I mean, that's their team right there, pretty much. So.
It is. And then the Chargers, they're 3-point favorites going to the Raiders today, and it does look like Carr will start for the Raiders. Yeah. Our whole channel picked the Chargers in this ballgame.
Oh, really? I don't know.
You like the Raiders better in this ballgame?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm biased towards the Raiders, but in this game, there's a pattern to the Raiders. They start off, they're supposed to be pretty good. They win a few games. In the middle of the season, they tank. And at the end of the year, they do good and give you hope for the next year. So I think right now I think they're on a good streak.
So right now you like the Raiders in that ballgame.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put you down here. Let's just do that, Sean. And so you'll take a +3 there. They got 48 points total for the game. Hey, do you like it over or under that?
Over.
Over. Okay. Yeah. All right. I tell you what. Seahawks and Rams. You willing to give up 3 and take a Seahawks?
Yep.
And it's 42.5 is all it is there.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
You'll
Over.
go over?
Mhm.
Over. Okay. Dolphins and 49ers. If you take your 49ers, you're giving up 4.5. Um, who now they're in San Francisco. It's supposed to rain today, is what I'm understanding. Is my understanding. 4.5 points.
I'll take
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
You like your Dolphins in this game, okay?
Yep.
And 46 points.
I'll go under on that.
All right. And let's see. Let's go backwards here. Broncos and Ravens. 6.5 points for the Ravens there.
Ravens all day.
Yeah, I like them too. I really do.
Yeah.
Only 41 total points scored. Over under that.
Over.
Over. Okay. And then the Commanders and Giants. That's a pick'em game. It's a one point deal there. Do you like the Giants in this game?
I think it's going to be a good game because Commanders are playing a lot better than the years past. I'll take the Giants.
We'll take the Giants and 42 points total.
Yep, I'll go with that. Over.
Over. Oh, okay. And then the Browns are giving up 5.5, and they've got their quarterback back, but they're going to wherever it all started, down in Houston, to play the Texans. 5.5 points you got to give up if you take the Browns.
I'll go with the Texans to cover the spread.
All right. And let's see. 44 total points.
I'll go under.
Yeah, I thought that was a little much too there.
Yeah.
Titans are going to the Eagles, and the Eagles are giving up 6.5.
Eagles.
All right. 45.5 there.
I'll go under on that.
All right. Jags going to the Lions. That's just a 1 point game either way there. So the Lions are -1. Who you liking there?
The Jaguars, I think their quarterback
like
finally going to start going.
All right.
Frank.
Yeah. And 49.5 points. How about that?
I'll go way under.
Yeah, I don't think you go that high either.
Oh.
Jets at the Vikings, and the Vikings are giving up 3.5.
I'll go with the Vikings.
All righty. And 41.5 is all the points is.
I'll go over.
All right. Steelers and the Falcons are a 1 point favorite.
Ooh.
That's a tough game.
Yeah. I'll go with the Steelers.
And total points scored 42.
I'll go just over.
Over. Okay. Packers and the Bears. And the
Packers. Bears.
But you're going with the Bears there?
Yep.
Okay. And 44.
I'll go under on that game.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see the ones you haven't done yet. You took the Raiders. Chiefs, they're giving up 3 points going to Cincinnati today. That's going to be a hell of a game, too. A rematch of the AFC Championship game. Chiefs -3 going to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's been such a disappointment this year, but it could just come out and get on fire. I'll still go Kansas City over 3.5.
Yeah, and just 3 points. 51 total.
I'll go with over.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Kansas City may score 40. Yeah, they can score. Then we got the Colts going to Dallas tonight. Dallas is a 9 point favorite in this ball game.
Ooh, I don't know. I won't go with that point spread for Dallas.
So you'll take Colts?
Colts, yep.
And 44.5.
Yeah, I'll go over.
All right. Matt Ryan scares me, though. Matt Ryan just scares me. I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. You really don't. And if he hits a wall, one thing about it, the Dallas Cowboys defense, they are tough.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, the Saints are going to play the Buccaneers.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. Saints, Buccaneers 6.5 point favorites.
I'll go with the Saints.
Yeah, I went with the Saints there too. I just thought that's too many points.
Yeah.
And 42.5.
I'll go over on that.
All right, we got you. Was that your phone ringing?
What's it? Oh,
It sounded like
that's my clock.
okay. It must be. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. I
Yeah.
got you. If you want to, hey, hang tight with me just for a second, and we'll go offline. For Brian, for Sean, my name's Rob. We will be back soon. Don't forget Tuesday night, folks, 7 Eastern time. We will be doing our picks. So hang tight with us there Tuesday night, and we'll be back with you.